Hello students, this is Mrs. Cornwell. I just wanted to show you how, when you get an assignment in Google Classroom, ways that you're able to turn it in. So Miss Lee and I made a practice classroom. So she's my teacher and I am being a student in this classroom. So I'm in my classroom in the stream and I can see that there was a new assignment posted. I can click here or I can go to classwork here and I can see where my assignments are posted as well. So I'm going to go to this assignment where it's talking about practice answering a question using a Google document. So she specified what she wanted me to use to answer the question that she's going to ask. So she posted some basic steps here and a video of how to do it. I'm going to go into view the assignment. So after I click on viewing my assignment, I can look up, I can see here is the title. I can see who my teacher is. I can see how many points it's worth. I can see the directions. Down here are class comments. This is not where you want to turn in your assignment. This is just for a comment, like maybe a question you had about the assignment, but not for doing your assignment. If you want to do your assignment, you go over to the right hand of your screen. You can see here where it says your work assigned. And then there's two tabs here. One says mark as done, and one says add or create. This part down here where it says private comments, if you post here and ask a question, only your teacher can see it. Let's say you're asking a question you think another student might know, or you just want to put it out there because other students might want to know the answer to the same question, which is very frequently the case. Everybody in your class can see what you write here, but only the teacher can see what you write here. But that's just for questions about the assignment. So if we want to turn it in, we're over on the right-hand side, and we want to go where it has a plus and it says add or create. If you just mark it as done, but you didn't do it or didn't attach it, your teacher can't see anything, so you're not going to get any points for it. So you want to go to add or create. You're going to left click on this, and it's going to give you a drop-down menu. So these are choices of how to put your work here for doing this assignment. So you might have something in your Google Drive you're attaching, like a photo. Maybe you hand wrote it on paper and you're attaching a photo that's in your Drive. Maybe you made a video and it's a link. Maybe you have a file on your computer that you're attaching. But most of the time you're going to be creating new assignments in here. So Miss Lee wants us to answer a question if we can create a new assignment using a Google Doc. So I could use a document. So that's just like typing out words, just like writing on a piece of paper. Slides, you can put different things on, like images, you can draw on them, same with drawings. And then sheets is like a graph. So if you had to put data or make a graph for a lab, something like that, make lists of things, that might be sheets. So sheets are like a piece of graph paper. Okay, slides are like a blank canvas where you could do writing, you can do drawings, that sort of thing. And docs is if you're going to just type an answer. Maybe you need to write one sentence, maybe you need to write one paragraph, or maybe you're writing a full essay. Docs is what you're going to use if you're submitting a written answer, is probably the most likely. So I can click on Docs. You can see up here, it's creating a Google Doc for me. Now that it's done doing that, I can see right here, instead of just having a blank spot, it says Drea Cornwell and it has Google Docs. I'm going to click on this. And what I want you to pay attention to is up on the tabs here. I'm in Google Classroom right here, but when this created a document for me, that document is in my Google Drive. That's where it's getting saved to, okay? So now this tab right here, this is in my Google Drive, okay? So I'm gonna type my assignment here, but I'm gonna submit it back in the Google Classroom. The other thing I want you to see is right up here. So you can see up here in the title, it has my name and the title of the assignment. You do not want to change this because when you turn this in, that's how your teacher knows it's your work and they know that what assignment you're actually doing. If you want to, you can retype that. So I could write my name again, say Cornwell. I could say life science, period 4. And I could put the assignment, the title, practice, answering a question using a Google Doc. Okay, so I could put that on there, but it is also up here in the title already. So like I said, don't change that because that's the easiest way for your teacher to find it. So I'm going to answer Miss Lee's question of, can I submit an answer using a Google Doc? I'm going to restate my question. Yes, I can complete an assignment using a Google Doc. I have created this document and in my Google Drive and will be submitting it in my Google Classroom. Okay, so I've finished my assignment. If you look up here, there's a share button, there's a turn in button. We don't want to use these because we're not in Google Classroom. We're just in our Google Drive. So we want to go back here where that original question was, okay? Not this tab, but this tab. So I'm going to click back here. I can see if I look down there, it says I'm in Classroom, okay? And now I can go to this same place where it says my work that was assigned. Here's my document, and I can hit turn in. And then it asks me, turn in your work. One attachment will be submitted for practice answering a question using a Google Doc. Okay, so here this is. I can either cancel it if I'm like, oh, that's not what I want to do, or I can turn in the assignment. Okay, the same thing would happen if I wanted to use something else. So let's say I was like, oops, I read that wrong and I was supposed to use a Google slide or I was supposed to use a Google Sheet. So I can unsubmit and undo what I did. It's telling me, you know, don't forget. So let's say I wanted to add a sheet in there. So this way you can see what Sheets looks like. So it's creating. Again, it's going to put my name and the assignment up here. Maybe I was doing something where a lab in science where I needed to write something, but I also needed to put some data in here. So let's say I was putting in the length of a leaf, the width of a leaf, because I'm trying to identify it. So maybe I recorded a bunch of leaves and now I'm putting those in. So I could put in my data, maybe 4.5 by 2 inches. Maybe my next leaf is 3 inches by 1 inch, and I have a third leaf that is 2.25 inches by 1 inch, okay? So I could put up here, these are in inches. I'm going to put that these are in inches. Okay, so again, I don't want to share. I want to go back to my question over here. I want to go back to Google Classroom, this purple icon, and now I'm going to turn it in. It'll actually turn in both of these, okay? So I'm going to turn this in. It says, okay, now I'm going to be submitting 2 attachments, okay? So well, let's look at slides too, okay? So I'm not going to turn this in yet. I'm going to add or create also a slide, okay? So you're going to want to use whatever format your teacher specifies. So maybe I want to, I'm going to make this blank. So maybe I want to insert a photo of my leaf. So I'm going to search the web and I'm going to look for a leaf. Okay, so maybe here's my leaf and I'm going to insert it on my slide. Maybe I'm making a poster for a presentation. So here's my leaf. Maybe I want to put in so this is pictures. These are text boxes. Maybe I want to make a description of what kind of leaf it is. This leaf is 3.5 inches by 2 inches and is shiny with smooth edges. I have identified it as, I don't know what this leaf is, so we're just going to put ... for now. Don't do that in your real assignment. I just don't know how to identify this leaf yet. So, okay, so maybe I had to do a presentation where I needed to have writing, pictures. Maybe I would be able to draw. Let's see if we can draw on here. Let's see what kind of tools. That's a border color. I don't know if I have drawing tools. I don't have drawing tools on here. Well, let's see. Tasks, keep, calendar. Okay, so I think all I can do is put boxes in, type in them, and add images. So let's say I'm done. I'm going to go back. Remember, I'm in my Google Drive. I'm going to go back to my Google Classroom. I made a document. I made a sheet. I made a slide. And now I'm going to turn this in. So when I'm finished and I'm satisfied with my work, I'm going to hit this button for turn in, check to make sure I've got it all right, and turn it in. So remember, use if it's not specified by your teacher will probably tell you what they want you to turn in, what format. But if it's not specified, remember, Google Documents is if you need to type. Google Sheets is like graph paper if you need to make a chart or a table. And then Google Slides is a blank canvas if you need to add some images, some text, more like making a poster. So good luck, and please make sure you always ask questions if you need help.